shared on your screen. So, Vice Chair Wilson, looks like we've got 6 commissioners with us. So we do in fact have a quorum, not that we need one for study session, but if you all are ready, we can kick off.
Let's do.
Okay. Our first case here is CUP 2563 being managed by Zach Schwartzmar staff. So Zach, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair and Commissioners. This is case CUP 25063, the Patterson RV as a permanent residence and 40-foot metal storage container request. Owner and applicant for this case is James Patterson out of Topak, Arizona. The property is on Noble Drive in the Valley area, and the zoning for this property is agricultural residential. It has a 1 acre parcel size minimum, and the parcel size for this property is 1.05 acres. Here's the vicinity map. So Valley Airport is here, and this is also where the junction of Highway 64 and Highway 180 is. Down in sort of the southeast corner of Valley is the subject property. It's surrounded by all properties in the same zone in the Grand Canyon Unit 2 subdivision. And here is an aerial of the subject property. So it's relatively well vegetated with pinyon juniper, and you can't see a whole lot of what's going on in the neighborhood, but having driven down Noble Drive before, I'll tell you that it's pretty common to do RV life and metal storage containers in this area. For details on the request, as far as wastewater, the applicant plans in the immediate term to dump off-site in an approved dumping station, and in the long term, they're looking at doing a septic system on the property. Also for the short term, they'd be doing a generator, limiting the noise of the generator to 50 decibels at the property line. And in the long term, they'd be looking to hook into APS. As far as water, they would haul it to the site and store it in a 2,500 gallon water tank. And the applicant is potentially looking at building a home in the future on the subject property. They're looking to retire on this property. As for the metal storage container, it's 1 40-foot container. It's currently red, and the applicant doesn't propose an alternative to that. The zoning ordinance does require that it be painted a color that blends in with the surrounding area. So I'll be working with the applicant and just getting a color sample that they'll use for the container. Here's a site plan. So it's sort of a long and narrow property, Noble Drive here. And the RV would be located pretty centrally on the property with the water tank here and container near the rear. The setbacks for the zone are 25 feet on the front, 10 on the sides, 20 on the rear. So all those setbacks are well met, as you can see from the numbers here shown by the applicant. And this is what the RV unit itself looks like, and this is currently what the container looks like. Staff's considerations for the case will be compliance with the comprehensive plan and the Valley area plan, and there are a variety of housing options, or there's a goal that supports a variety of housing options in the comprehensive plan, and I'm not sure that there's anything particularly relevant in the Valley area plan, but I'll be looking at that. As far as zoning ordinance requirements, we talked about the setbacks. Those are well met, and that I'll be talking to the applicant about color sample for the container. And as far as potential impacts, this request is consistent with the character of the neighborhood, and staff isn't seeing that there will be any, but I'll be looking into it. So with that, happy to answer any questions, or if you would like me to look into anything as I research the case, please let me know.
So I'm not seeing any questions from anyone, so let's go ahead and move on.
Thanks, Vice Chair Wilson. Zach has the next one also. Item 2 for study session is CUP 2547, CUP for cottage industry. and metal storage containers. Go ahead, Zach.
Thank you. So this request is CUP 25047. It's the Castle Rock Doors cottage industry, as well as a request for two 40-foot metal storage containers. The owner of the property is Kirk Daniels out of Lake Havasu City. Applicant is his company, Castle Rock Doors. The property is on the East Old Route 66 in Pittman Valley. It's technically within the parks area plan. And the zoning for the property is general, which is typically a single family residential and agricultural zone with a 10-acre minimum parcel size. The subject property is only 5.98 acres, but that was approved through a variance, I believe, in 2019. The subject property actually used to straddle Highway I-40 before it was built, and then Highway I-40 was taken by eminent domain. But in any case, it's a legal parcel. The Pittman Valley exit is here, Deer Farm over to the west, and then the subject property is right here. It's amongst other properties that are slightly undersized for the zone. So as you can see, other properties nearby are also used for various types of storage needs and that sort of thing. There are homes on this and this property here, agricultural uses occurring all in the same general zone. Property also adjacent to I-40 there. For some details on the request, the applicant is requesting to build a new workshop building that would be over 8,500 square feet in area. It would include areas for saws, woodworking equipment, material storage, and it would have an office with a full bathroom. And the applicant proposes in their narrative to insulate the workshop for sound mitigation. The request also includes two metal storage containers. These would be for personal use and painted the same as the requested workshop or potentially the new home that they would build. There is an existing, I forgot to mention, so here there is a shed on the property that actually was converted with the building permit into a dwelling. I believe it's 384 square feet in area, and then these are two metal storage containers. They do plan to build a new home on the property concurrently with the workshop, and the new home would be over 4,300 square feet. This would be the main home, and then the smaller would become what we call an ADU, accessory dwelling unit, and that's all just an aside, but it would meet the zoning ordinance accessory dwelling unit requirements. So here's a site plan. They want to sort of rearrange things. You'll notice that the lettering is sort of upside down. They kind of made north the bottom on the site plan, but I wanted to keep you oriented to East Route 66 here. The new workshop that the applicant is proposing would be here with the 40-foot containers adjacent. Here's that small home here, and then this would be the future residence here. So they'd be putting the workshop closer to Highway I-40, and then sort of the residential uses here would be closer to adjacent residential. And I know you can't really read any of this, but these are all of the different benches and saws and things that they would have in the workshop. Right here would be where the office is requested. The office space itself is something like 515 square feet. And this request also includes two waivers. So for cottage industry is just to keep it more primarily a residential use. The zoning ordinance typically limits the number of employees to 3. The applicant is requesting 4. And the zoning ordinance typically has a maximum for the combined floor area of main home and workshop as related to the business being conducted. So the cottage industry use would need to be 50% of the combined floor area of the workshop, I guess, and the main home. In this case, the applicant is requesting 66%. So both of those numbers are not that far above the typical zoning ordinance requirements, and considering the context of the subject property, where it's located, the size of the property, all those sorts of things. At this time, staff is thinking this will be supportable. I still have to do some research on this case. but staff's considerations will be the comprehensive plan and parks area plan. Generally, our long-range plans support cottage industries. And as far as zoning ordinance requirements, they all appear to be met except for those waivers that, again, appear to be supportable. And as far as potential impacts and mitigation of those impacts, the applicant also noted in their citizen participation plan that nobody attended. So it doesn't appear like there's a whole lot of interest from the neighborhood on this one. Parcel size, distance from other dwellings is already mentioned. Also, the ambient noise from the highway would probably mitigate the noise issues, and also the applicant stated that they would be insulating the workshop, so that would help as well. With that, I'm happy to take any questions or happy to look into anything that any of the commissioners have concerns with or want me to analyze for this case.
Let's see, any? Yes, Commissioner Leslie, go ahead, please.
Thank you. I'm curious if this conditional use permit 25047 is approved, are we also approving the zoning changes, or is that going to be a separate function? Thank you.
Right. So Commissioner Leslie, this isn't a zone change that's requested, it's a conditional use permit. So this use is allowed in the zone, just subject to the approval of the Planning and Zoning Commission. It would only need to go on to the Board of Supervisors if there was some sort of appeal. So it's not a change in zone, it's just a conditional use permit for 2 containers and the cottage industry.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Sure.
Any other commissioners with questions? And I guess I have to get one in. Zach, Mr. Schwartz, it sounds like the applicant is aware of noise, and that's the logic behind the insulation. But I suspect in the summertime, the doors are going to be open, which will negate the value of the insulation. So one of the questions that I'd like to hear addressed next month would be the issue of noise with doors open.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Things like
Wilson.
planers and stuff like that are pretty loud.
Noise with doors open in summer. I've got that written down. I'll talk to the applicant. I'm actually meeting with them next week. Again, I do think that the highway sound is going to mitigate some of that, but definitely I'll talk to them and let them know it was a concern.
And are there any restrictions on hours of operation for cottage industries?
You know, Commissioner Wilson, I don't believe there are right off the top of my head. Mr. McNeely, do you know?
Hold on one second. I'm pulling
I
that
can
up
actually even
in
pull it up.
the zoning ordinance. I don't believe there are. I mean, the commission could limit. That's a typical condition. If it's, if there's a perceived risk of impact, but yeah, of all the standards, there is not an hours of operation standard out of the zoning ordinance.
Okay.
It may be that they wrote in their narrative that they had proposed something. So I'll look at that and let them know that hours of operation might be something of concern as well.
Thank you. Commissioner Best.
And I think you said that there had already been neighbor comments. Is that correct?
So Commissioner Best, there have not been neighbor comments. At this point, they've only done their citizen participation plan where they've sort of sent out notification to the neighbors where they would receive comments from them. We will be duplicating that effort. So in the report, they didn't reflect that anybody came to that meeting, but it's potential that we could possibly get something, but no, nothing so far.
Okay, so that's ongoing. Yeah, that will be interesting to see the results of that. Thanks.
I would point out this immediate area. I don't believe bordering this property, but in this immediate area, there are at least 2 other cottage industries or some type of business. One of which also done in a large metal building, got renewed a few years ago, and for a vehicle customization, I believe they were doing some kind of like custom cars or race cars or something. So the general area does have some other businesses and cottage industries.
Thank you. Any other questions from the commission? Let's move on.
Okay, case number 3 is conditional use permit for additional miniature goats on the property. Sophie Koza with staff is managing this, so thanks for sharing your screen, Sophie. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. McNeely. So this is CUP 2557, Workman Goat Farm. The applicant is Alyssa Workman out of Flagstaff, and the owner is Brandon and Alyssa Workman. The property is located at 6499 Lumberjack Boulevard in Doney Park. And the zoning on the property is agricultural residential with a 2-acre minimum parcel size. And the request is to keep up to 20 miniature goats on the property when up to 8 are normally allowed on a 2.02 acre parcel. And this is a vicinity map showing the subject property towards the southeast. It's about a half mile south of Townsend-Winona Road. So the property owners currently have 7 goats on the property, and the goats would be kept for the main purpose of producing and selling goat milk. The baby goats are planned to be weaned and rehomed within 2 to 3 months of birth. The zoning ordinance allows up to 4 months before those baby goats start being counted towards the total number of goats allowed. The purpose of the request is to allow for future expansion of the dairy farm and to be covered if weaning takes longer than planned. Manure from the goats will be used in the garden on the property and kept at least 55 feet from property lines. And feeding, watering, and sheltering will be conducted outside of setbacks as per zoning ordinance standards. And this is an aerial photo of the property. So currently they have a residence on the property as well as a garage and a barn. And then this is their site plan. It's kind of hard to read, but most of the existing and proposed pens are located towards the eastern half of the property. And then towards the southeastern part of the property, it shows where the goats will be sheltered, watered, and fed. So the reddish orange color is shelter, the blue is water, and the F is for feeding. For their citizen participation plan, they held a neighborhood meeting on December 5th where 5 people attended, but there were no issues or concerns raised, and staff have received no comments on this case. With that, are there any questions?
I am not seeing any hands raised. There we go. Commissioner Walsh, go ahead, please.
Thank you. This is a breeding project?
So they're keeping them mainly for the purpose of making and selling goat milk.
So they'll need to breed the does every year to get milk, right?
Right. Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay, the smell is outrageous, but if none of the neighbors complained, I guess I don't really have anything to add. I just think down the line, the CUP might be contested. That's all.
Sounds like you have some experience with this, Commissioner Walsh.
My farrier lives next to a goat farm and he said it's unbelievable. And he has 10 acres and it's still pretty bad, so.
Okay. I do have one quick question. It sounds like this actually might be a cottage industry. Are they doing goat milk for sale or for personal consumption?
They are doing it for sale, which in the AR zone, since it's an agricultural zone, is permitted by right.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, let's move along.
All right, thanks, commissioners. The last one for public hearing next month, well, at the end of this month, is zone change and CUP for the old Bedrock City and Valley, and that's a grandfather to legal non-conforming zoning. Thanks for sharing your screen, Bob. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vice Chair and Commission. This case is the Raptor Ranch zone change with some CUPs attached to it. The property owner in this case is the Brown Family Trust out of Laguna Hills, California. The applicant is Troy Morris. The current zoning is general, and the proposed zoning is CG 10,000. Property size is 30 acres. So I'll start with some background on this. This is the Bedrock City everyone's familiar with, I think. It was originally established in 1971, and that was before we had G zoning, so it's probably an A zoning, something like that. So it was approved as a theme park with retail and food service. And then in 1975, they added the RV park. So it's been there for a long time. These are legal non-conforming uses. That's a fancy term for grandfathered in. So they're allowed to operate as they are now, but they can't really be expanded or anything. So you can't expand commercial uses in this zone without some kind of approval. In this case, zone change is probably the best way to move forward. They did have CUP renewals approved in 1995, 2007, and 2015. The current one did expire last year without being renewed. And this is the request, zone change to CG 10,000, commercial general. A CUP to allow the addition of a fuel island. So they want to put basically a gas station on the property. And a CUP for the existing campground and RV park. The other uses on here would be approved. They don't require a CUP in the CG 10,000 zone. So they'll be approved uses if this zone change is approved. They also want to do a couple of other things. One is to add some park models in the existing RV park spaces. So they're not expanding the RV park, just adding some park models. And they may want to do that in the future as well, which would be allowed if the zoning is approved. And also an outdoor market with 4 vendors. This is the vicinity map showing the subject property. You can see where 180 comes into Highway 64 right there. It's right across the street from the gas station. And this is a zoning map. So you can see pretty much all around it or across the street, they have the CG 10,000 zoning. These commercial uses have existed here for a long time, so it's an appropriate zone change. This right here is that hotel where the zone change was approved this year. This is an aerial photo. You can see all the uses on the property. This is the campground that is now closed. It may be open again in the future. The RV park and the theme park back here. This is an overall site plan that shows everything. Again, you can see the same uses: the theme park, the campground, the RV park, and some of the uses up here in front. Let me zoom in on that. They provided another site plan that shows a closer look at everything. So they're proposing this is the fuel island. And by the way, in the future, they would like to cut this off into its own parcel. But for now, the zone change, it needs to be approved before they can do that. But this is the fuel island. These are the vendors up front. This is the existing marketplace and restaurant and some other accessory uses through here. They also want to put in a dog park up front for travelers. And then there's a large patio right in here. And they also want to improve the site by adding some landscaping along the frontage. Probably may require a landscape waiver for that. And with that, I'll take any questions from the commission. There are quite a few other things to look at with this particular site because it's been there for a while.
Commissioner Hayward.
Thank you. Going back to the point about the zoning and the 2 uses that require a CUP for in the CG 10,000, is there no zone that we have then that would allow all of it by right?
There is CH 10,000. but that would be, in a sense, there is no CH 10,000 out here, and the CH 10,000, that's commercial heavy, I'm sorry, zone. It would likely allow those by right. The issue is that that also allows a lot of other things by right that may not be appropriate in this area. And it just fits better with all the CG that's already out here.
What are the other things that you don't think were appropriate?
Like auto painting, that kind of thing. Maybe I believe. I'm sorry.
Heavier commercial versus kind of highway retail.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Right. That's the difference. So there's quite a few things, but this is, since this area already has, as you can see back here, everything out here is CG. So it would be kind of almost like a spot zone to put in CH here to allow things that are, more impactful. And once you approve the CUPs, they don't come back to be renewed again. We've kind of gotten away from that here at the county. So it wouldn't be a huge impact for them. They would just, have those approved.
Okay.
So to clarify, Mr. Short, they'd be administratively renewed, correct?
They actually would not need to be renewed at all if they're approved that way. And that's been typical lately that the county or staff has not recommended that CUPs expire. So renewal is not something
there are some uses in the zoning ordinance where within the zoning ordinance it specifies a time frame. And we have customarily recommended expirations for things that could go away very easily, such as these temporary and seasonal campgrounds that are all temporary structures, or RV as a residence. Things that get built permanently, we have typically recommended no expiration of those. And then there have been some where there's been concern in the hearing. And so in order to, have a check-in within a few years, then the commission has added an expiration.
Thank you.
That definitely addresses my concern then.
Okay.
Any other questions from the commission? All right, let's get to a department update here.
Well, actually, Vice Chair Wilson, looks like Commissioner Best raised his hand.
Yeah, if you could just let me know if you're going out there, I wouldn't mind going out if I can schedule it.
Commissioner Best, unfortunately, we've already gone out and posted. This is the really short month, so this happens to be posting week as well as hearing week for us. So they've already been posted.
Okay, maybe I can go out by myself then. Thanks.
But yeah, if you're in the area, Troy is he's hosted. He hosted a comp plan focus group at this property. So he's, if you let him know you wanted to come out and see the property, he'd be happy to show you around.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully the site plan will be a little bit more legible in the package at the end of the month. So,
Mr. Vice Chair, yes, it is. It actually is. This is just a clip that goes onto the PowerPoint. So it's really high resolution. You can see it very well.
Okay. Any other questions? Time for department update.
All right. Thank you, Vice Chair Wilson. For department update on our regional plan and comp plan process, Melissa, if you wanted to brief the commissioners with where we're at.
Thank you. Good evening, Vice Chair Wilson and commissioners. Just the first update is regarding the Flagstaff Regional Land Use Plan, and that's also repeated below in the Board of Supervisors update, but it is scheduled for public hearing with the board this month on January 27th, and it's time certain at 4 p.m. That afternoon. So it is scheduled right the day before your next commission hearing, actually. So that one is moving forward. And as you know, it was approved by City Council in October. It will be scheduled for special ballot initiative on May 19th for city residents to be able to vote on ratifying the Flagstaff Regional Land Use Plan. Are there any questions about that?
I see none.
Okay, great. And the next update we have for you is that we do have copies now of the final approved county's comprehensive plan. So we will, it's available. We will be uploading that to the website actually next week, but we do have copies available. Rather, not a print copy, but a digital copy if anybody would like one. And then that includes the companion guide. Anticipating Commissioner Best's question about that. So the companion guide is ready as well. And so just let me know if you would like a copy. We can print a few copies. We do have a fairly tight print budget, so please let us know if anybody would like a copy of one or the other of those documents.
Okay.
And that's what I had for you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw.
Vice Chair Wilson, looks like Commissioner Best has his hand up.
Yes, he does. I got to pay more attention. Go ahead, Commissioner Best.
Thank you. How many pages is the companion guide, the desk guide?
It is right here.
It's about 30 pages, I think, total, 15 if you do double-sided. And that
Okay.
includes the implementation plan.
Yep, 30-ish pages.
Okay. Yeah, if you could, my printer's a little off. If you could print that out for me, I'll drop by.
Okay, when will you drop by?
Not today.
Okay, we'll have it ready for the counter. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, I'm not seeing any other hands. Let's go on to the Board of Supervisors update.
So Vice Chair Wilson, Commissioners, just to let you know, on December 16th, the board held a hearing on the appeal of the horse boarding CUP that you had approved the previous month. And the board's action was to uphold your approval of the horse boarding CUP. That same evening, they approved the recommended amendments to the zoning ordinance on increased accessory dwelling units. And the same evening, they also amended the county's short-term rental ordinance. Any question on any of the board's actions?
I see none.
All right.
I did want to make a comment on the horse boarding thing. I don't know if anyone else has noticed driving by that the road's already been fixed over there.
I've noticed that with some of the precipitation we've gotten, there's a lot of water in that field at times. So we'll
Yeah,
see how
that's
long
true.
the road lasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They repeatedly fixing.
Yeah. Any
Cuts
other
down
comments?
cuts down on speeding in those rural areas.
Yep. So our roundtable discussions here then are next.
Yes.
And we do have an agenda item coming up in the formal meeting to elect a chair and vice chair. We're going to go through a full discussion process at that point. Does anybody have any questions or discussion they would like to have prior to that? Commissioner Best?
Thank you. I will just, I appreciate the nomination, but I would like to take myself out of the running for the vice chair. I think Commissioner Burton was interested in that, and she's not here tonight. Is that correct?
She is not, and Commissioner Burton has actually resigned from the commission completely.
Oh my God.
So if that impacts your decision at all, make sure you're
okay.
aware of that. You can ponder that between now and our,
I'll ponder.
yeah. And wait, I didn't know, you can remove yourself from consideration. Never mind.
I'll ponder.
All right.
Let's see.
Any other questions about chair, vice chair before we go into that later on this evening?
And thanks for letting the commissioners know, Vice Chair Wilson, but I thought maybe you all already knew, but yeah, unfortunately, our chair, soon to be former chair and longstanding Commissioner Tiana Burton has resigned. She's not working for her. And I don't, she's served 8 years, so happy for her to resign. But we will be looking for commissioners. We still need to replace John Ruggles in District 5. We've been talking to Supervisor Lena Fowler about that, and we will now need to replace Commissioner Tiana Burton in District 3. So we've talked to Supervisor Tammy Ontiveros about that. But if any of you all know someone who would make a great commissioner from either one of those districts, please let us know, because we could use some recommendations of people who would be good and willing.
And I will echo that it's important that we get those positions filled so we don't end up where we were a year and a half or 2 years ago, where
Yes.
quorums were a real challenge.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Annual retreat. Sounds like we've got some dates picked here.
These
Let's,
are the two. Yeah, this tends to be the time. Yeah, February, March has been the time that we've done these. So I picked these 2 Fridays. I know a couple of commissioners mentioned at your last study session that Fridays are good. So we tend to do these meeting in the morning, say 9 a.m. and make a half day out of it. But Friday, February 13th, or strangely, we have two Friday the 13th, two months in a row, both February and March. So either Friday, February 13th or Friday, March 13th. That would work for staff, either one of those dates. Any discussion from commissioners on pros or cons of those dates?
what I was going to do is just ask each commissioner individually
Okay.
what of the days work best for them, so we could just toll that up. So Commissioner Tohi, do you have a preference?
Thank you, Chair or Vice Chair. Either of those days are fine with me.
Thank you. Commissioner Walsh?
I prefer February 13th because March 13th is the Friday of spring break, I think.
Ah,
Yeah, it is.
wouldn't want to miss that.
Oh.
All right,
So,
is Commissioner,
Jess, unless do you have the budget to join me in Cancun for the?
Yes, we
retreat?
definitely have the budget for that. Yes.
Okay, so then it could be on March 13th.
Commissioner Williams, is she here? I don't see her.
We did
Commissioner
not
Be-
anticipate her being with us this evening. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Commissioner Best, do you have a preference?
Well, I thought we were talking about Hawaii, but I will settle for Cancun. And I would say
the
that
poor
the
man's Hawaii.
13th, out of consideration for people with kids, as it turns out, my grandkids are later in the month, so I could do either.
Okay. Commissioner Berger is not here, I don't believe.
I actually
Nope.
am. I can't,
Oh.
I can't get my camera on,
Ah, okay.
but I'm here.
What's your preference?
February 13th.
February the 13th. Commissioner Leslie?
And I'm in for everything between Hawaii and Puerto Vallarta, anywhere in between. I'll be happy about that.
Excellent. Commissioner Leslie?
I'm actually available on either day, so whatever works best for the group.
Okay, and Commissioner Hayward, you picked a location. Did you pick a date?
The February date is better for me. I
February?
don't think I'll be able to make the March date.
I think I'll go with the majority, and it looks like February is going to work best for us here. So you can get staff planning on the travel arrangements.
Absolutely. At your last study session, we discussed wanting to relook the commission's roles. So we thought we would, as a part of your retreat, we could do a review of what state statute and the county zoning ordinance designate as your responsibilities and roles. And we could talk further. I believe a couple of you talked about the potential of wanting to do a mission statement. So if we wanted to do that, discuss your statutory required roles and responsibilities from the state and from the county, then we could discuss anything else you would want to add to that in the way of a mission statement. Sound good?
Yeah, I would add one other topic, just briefly, a review of open meeting laws, just so that we are all current on what those are.
Yep, goes without saying, we will definitely do that.
Any other commissioners have a suggestion for topics for our retreat in Hawaii? Or Cancun?
Area plans, what areas might be ripe for area plans?
Absolutely.
That
And any other
currently don't have them?
anticipated, pardon me?
So areas that don't currently have an area plan that might need one is what you're suggesting?
Possibly, or renewal of existing area plans.
Yeah.
And any other big issues that are coming up. I can't really think of any, but perhaps Ms. Shaw would have some.
Okay.
Long range planning issues.
For long range planning, is I think a retirement, but we'll.
Well, that.
Oh, will this be a full day?
We
is what it's aimed for.
So happy to discuss it. Our norm has been that we meet at like 9 a.m. and try to invite everybody to bring like kind of a potluck. If you wanted to bring a snack, morning snack, I think we will try to get coffee, and that we would go 9 a.m. till noonish, but no real time requirement. So that gives us a solid 3 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Should I bring my dog?
Depend on where we're at.
That's a showstopper.
HR told us we weren't allowed to bring our pets in the building, but we just don't tell them when we do. So if you can follow that rule.
Will it be
Yes.
on Fort Valley or at Fort Tuthill or where?
We could do Fort Valley is the easy one because it's right here. Any preference on that location? We could do either Fort Valley or Fort Tuthill.
I think you can guess my preference, Jess.
I see David walk down the window I'm looking out right now when he comes over. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
we will.
Fort Valley's easy. If there's snow or something, then kind of negates going out to Tuthill. Hopefully we have snow.
Hopefully.
As long as we're done
After your
meeting before
retreat,
closes.
everyone could take a walk to Commissioner Hayward's house. Get outside.
He's buying, right?
Yes.
We could go
Yeah.
down.
All right.
To the,
Well, we can all eat there.
Yeah, I'll make you guys lunch.
All right, we have we're using up our spare time here to get something to eat before we start our formal meeting. So I'm going to say we've covered the topics adequately and take a break until 5:30 p.m. when we will begin the official meeting.
Thank you, Vice Chair Wilson. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Eight commissioners or something. That's awesome. All right. It is 5:30 and therefore it is time to start our meeting. Mr. McNeely, you can confirm that we do have a quorum. Is that correct?
There's a Whopper that you can have and also a bacon burger.
Commissioner Tohi, that sounds great, but I already had that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hey, Vice Chair Wilson, are you hearing me okay? Jess with staff?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. I'm going through my list here. If we didn't lose anyone, yes, we do in fact have
Okay.
seven commissioners on.
That
And there's a
is great.
couple of phone numbers. That is not any of the commissioners, but there's a couple of phone numbers that are not muted. I think that may be who you were hearing.
Okay. There's someone with a phone number that ends in 29.
Mhm.
There's you're not muted. That would be appreciated if you could, so that we minimize background chatter.
Probably
Same
just
thing
hit-
for someone with a number ending in 02. If you could mute that, that would be appreciated. I'd like to call our meeting to order. It's 5:30 on January the 7th, 2026. And I am calling the meeting of the Coconino County Planning and Zoning Commission to order. We're going to start by reading through the meeting rules and procedures. On behalf of the commissioners and staff here tonight, I'd like to welcome everyone to the January 6th, 2026 meeting of the Coconino County Planning and Zoning Commission. Tonight we'll be hearing the cases in the order presented on the agenda. Cases will be heard as follows. First, county planning staff will present an overview of the project. Next, the applicant and/or the applicant's representative may address the commission. As an applicant, if you understand and agree with the staff conditions from their report, we would appreciate your acknowledging that in your comments. Following the applicant's presentation, I will make a call for public comment. If anyone wishes to address that case, they should raise their hand to indicate so. When called on, please state your name and address for the record. Comments must be limited to 3 minutes in length, and Mr. McNeely will be our timing czar. Public comments must be relevant to the case. Please address all comments to the commission. The commission cannot interact with the public on items not on tonight's agenda. We trust that all comments will be respectful. After public comments have been completed, we will close the open discussion and begin discussion amongst the commissioners, typically followed by our voting on the case. Decisions of the commission regarding any zone change or preliminary subdivision plat approval are referred to the County Board of Supervisors as a recommendation. All other case decisions are binding, but can be appealed to the Board of Supervisors within 15 days of this meeting. Please contact the community development staff for more information on the appeal procedures. Due to the virtual nature of the meeting, a roll call vote of all the commissioners will be conducted to ensure accuracy for the record. We ask that all guests mute their microphones and turn off their cameras. The message function of Teams is for communicating technical difficulties only. It should not be used for any side discussions. Thank you for joining us this evening and actively participating in your county planning process. The first item on tonight's agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mr. McNeely, if you could lead us in that, please.
Will do. If you could join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Vice Chair Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. McNeely. Item number 2 on our agenda tonight is the election of a chair and vice chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Our previous chair, Ms. Burton, has chosen to step down from the commission after serving for more than 8 years here, and as a representative from District 3, and most recently as our chairperson. I would like to personally express both my and our commission's gratitude to her for her contributions to our community through her hard work, and wish her the very best in her future endeavors. As vice chair, I would be honored to continue in the role as chair, and I would like to suggest that Commissioner Hayward be elected as the vice chair. At this point, I'd like to open the floor to discussion amongst the rest of the commission, and we can just kind of go around once here in order to get everybody's opinions and see where we end up after that. So Commissioner Tohi, can you start us off?
Now that you all heard my dinner. I would, I don't know if we need to second, but I would like to second your advice. Both of your suggestions, you staying on as chair and then also Commissioner Hayward as vice.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Tohi. Commissioner Walsh, any thoughts or comments?
I am grateful to our chairwoman Burton for her service, and I'm grateful to you, Vice Chair Wilson, and I support your stepping into the chairperson role. And I'd support Hayward as a vice chair if he feels up to it. Thanks.
Excellent, thank you. Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams is not with us, Vice Chair Wilson.
That's correct. She wasn't going to be able to make it tonight. Commissioner Best, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have reconsidered and I would also be open to being vice chair, depending on what the commission thinks. I had deferred to Commissioner Burton because of her experience, but I have experience as well. So I'll put my name
Certainly
out
do.
there and see where it goes from there. And I certainly support Vice Chair Wilson for chair. I think he's done a good job running the meetings that he's run. Thank you.
Commissioner Best, I believe you are our longest serving member now.
Yes.
So Commissioner Berger, thoughts or comments?
I too kind of want to chime in on Commissioner Burton for all of her time. Really looked up to her for her experience and her professionalism. I will chime in on Vice President Wilson, or sorry, Vice Commissioner Wilson as my choice for the chair. Saw it best coming in at the tail end here. I will be voicing for him as vice.
Oh. All right. Thank you very much. Commissioner Leslie.
I too would support yourself as moving into the chair position for our commission, and I can support either Commissioner Hayward or Commissioner Best in the vice chair role, either way. But I'm good with what we're looking at.
Thank you, Commissioner Leslie. Commissioner Hayward.
Thank you for the nomination, Rob. I'm happy to do it. Run the meetings when you're not available. I have some prior experience. Was chair of the Heritage Preservation Commission for the city before I left that. I'm also president of my HOA and president of Blackstuff for Affordable Housing. So I have a decent amount of experience running these types of meetings, and I'm happy to step into that role when hopefully soon to be Chair Wilson is not available. So thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Hayward. I have already expressed my thoughts to continue in this role as chair and to support Commissioner Hayward as vice chair. So it sounds like the chair position is pretty well accepted. The vice chair will have to take a vote on apparently here. So we'll go around one last time and ask just for each person to say whether they support either Commissioner Best or Commissioner Hayward as the vice chair. And then we will need a motion in a second to move forward from that point. So Commissioner Towhee.
Wow. Commissioner Best, you just had to come in after I said my spiel. But I think, this is hard because I really respect both of them. And I really think that both will do really great. And well, can I be the tiebreaker?
If you would like me to come back, we will come back to Commissioner Towhee. Commissioner Walsh.
It looks like I already unmuted. That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go for the long. Commissioner Best, thank you for both volunteering.
Thank you. Commissioner Best.
Well, I think either of us would do a great job, and I just throw my hat in the ring based on many years of experience on the commission, and I'll just leave it at that. I think the
Thank you.
commissioners understand my values, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
And Commissioner Berger?
Boy, tough crowd. I think they would both be outstanding. I have experience with both. So I'm a little bit like Tohi right now, Commissioner Tohi. It's a rough one. But being as I have to make a decision, I'll go with Commissioner Best as vice.
All right, Commissioner Leslie?
I too feel that both would do an excellent job as vice chair, but I'm going to go with Commissioner Best for vice chair.
And Commissioner Hayward?
Do I get to vote for myself? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I know it's kind of an odd position to be in. Vote for or against yourself.
I guess I'll vote for myself if I'm
All right.
required to cast a vote.
And the good news for Commissioner Tohi is no tiebreaker is required. So it appears that the commission would like to elect myself as chair and Commissioner Best as vice chair. So I will need a motion for that.
So moved for both.
Second,
Okay, Commissioner. And the second was that Commissioner Walsh. And we will take a vote on the motion by Commissioner Tohi, seconded by Commissioner Walsh, to elect Commissioner Wilson as chair and Commissioner Best as vice chair. So Commissioner Tohi,
Aye.
Commissioner Walsh,
aye.
Commissioner Best,
Aye.
Commissioner Berger,
Aye.
Commissioner Leslie,
Aye.
Commissioner Hayward,
Abstain?
and I too will abstain but the ayes have it at 5-2. So we have elected a new chair and vice chair. And that brings us to the third item, the approval of the December 3rd, 2025 minutes. Does anyone have any updates to the December 3rd, 2025 minutes? Not seeing any. I'll need a motion to approve them as presented.
Make a motion to approve the December 3rd, 2025 minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner Burton. A second.
I'll second.
That was Commissioner Best. So we have a motion from Commissioner Burton and a second from Commissioner Best to approve the December 3rd, 2025 minutes as presented. Commissioner Tohi, yea or nay?
Aye.
Commissioner Walsh,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Williams, is not here. I'm sorry. Commissioner Best,
Aye.
Commissioner Berger,
Aye.
Commissioner Leslie,
Aye.
Commissioner Hayward, Commissioner Hayward, I didn't hear a response there.
Sorry, that was an abstain. I was absent.
And I'm sorry, you abstained, you said?
Yes, abstain.
Thank you. I vote aye, so the motion carries. The next item on the agenda, item number 4, is public comment. Public comment is for any issue that's not on tonight's agenda. If you're a member of the public and would like to make a comment, please raise your hand to be recognized and then state your name and address for the record. Your comments will be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask that you understand that we cannot interact with you on items that are not on the published agenda. Does anyone from the public have anything that they would like to discuss at this point? Seeing none, that brings us to the public hearing portion of the meeting this evening. CUP 25042 and CUP 25059 are both requests to use a recreational vehicle as a permanent residence. And I'm going to suggest that we address those as a consent agenda item if no one from the public or commissioners have any questions on those two items. Are there any members of the public that would like to address CUP 25042 or 25059? If so, please raise your hand. I'm seeing none. Are there any members of the commission that would like to further discuss CUP 042 or 059? Seeing none, I need a motion to approve CUP 25042 and 25059 as presented. Whoops, there's Commissioner Walsh with her hand up.
I am moving to recommend approval of CUP 25-42 with the recommended conditions and CUP 25-59 with recommended conditions.
Thank you, Commissioner Walsh. I need a second.
Commissioner Hayward, I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hayward. So I have a motion to approve CUP 25042 and 25059 with the conditions as presented by Commissioner Walsh and seconded by Commissioner Hayward. We'll take a vote. Commissioner Towhee.
Aye.
Commissioner Walsh.
Aye.
Commissioner Best.
Aye.
Commissioner Berger.
Aye.
Commissioner Leslie.
Aye.
Commissioner Hayward.
Aye.
And I vote aye also. It passes unanimously, and we will move on to CUP. There it is. 25060. Mr. McNeely, is staff prepared to present on this case?
Yes, Chair Wilson, and I see that Bob Short from our staff is sharing his screen, so go ahead, Bob.
Thank you.
This is actually Sophie Kozo. With
I
staff.
apologize, Sophie. Go ahead, get this. Go ahead, Sophie. Appreciate it.
Thank you. This is CUP 2560, Collins 4,000 square foot accessory structure and metal storage containers. The owner and applicant is Susan and Clarence Collins out of Flagstaff, Arizona. The property is located at 11735 Homestead Lane in Timberline. And the zoning on the property is residential single family with a 40,000 square foot minimum. And the request is for modification of expired CUP 1932, which is for a 4,000 square foot accessory structure, and the addition of 2 8x20 metal storage containers on a 2 1/3 acre lot. So the 4,000 square foot accessory structure was approved under a conditional use permit in 2019, which expired without renewal in 2024. The accessory structure is used for garage space for vehicles and materials that were previously unscreened on the property. And the applicants are also requesting 2 8x20 metal storage containers. These metal storage containers were on site when the 2019 CUP was approved, and they were conditioned to either be permitted or removed from the property as part of their approval. That hasn't happened until now, and that's why the applicants are requesting these 2 metal storage containers as part of this modification to the conditional use permit. And the metal storage containers are planned to be painted an earth tone color that matches the accessory structure, and are also planned to be relocated to be behind the accessory structure. And these will be used for boat and off-road vehicle storage, as well as related gear. And this is a vicinity map showing the subject property highlighted in blue. It's about a half mile west of Highway 89 in Timberline. Again, it's RS 40,000, and there's some AR zone to the north of it. And then this is an aerial photo of the property. It is a pretty old one. I'm not exactly sure when, but it was after 2019. As you can see, the approved accessory structure towards the western side of the property. There are a lot of vehicles shown on this aerial view. When I did my site visit, there were only licensed and operable vehicles on the site. A lot of these were gone or potentially moved into the accessory structure for screening. And then this is the site plan, again, showing the accessory structure on the western side. And then to the rear of that accessory structure is the proposed location of the 2 storage containers. And this is a photo of the accessory structure as it is on the site today. And this kind of shows the rest of the property. So the dwelling is over here to the right, and then you can see the 2 metal storage containers on the other side of the photo. And again, these are the current colors of the metal storage containers, a blue and red color. But in the bottom left here, you'll see a color sample showing a tan earth tone color, which will match pretty well to the accessory structure that they plan to paint the metal storage containers in. For their citizen participation plan, they held a neighborhood meeting on November 5th. 0 people attended that meeting, and they haven't received any comments regarding their request. The previously approved 2019 conditional use permit also had no opposition, and staff have received no comments on this case. As for compliance with the county's comprehensive plan, the comprehensive plan does encourage private property maintenance and proactive enforcement of performance standards such as outdoor screening, which has been addressed by these conditional use permits. And just as a reminder, these are the findings of fact for a conditional use permit. And these are staff's recommended conditions of approval. One thing to note is condition number 3, that specifies that the 2 metal storage containers will have an expiration date after 5 years, but the 4,000 square foot accessory structure would not be subject to an expiration date, so it would be approved indefinitely. So with that, staff recommends approval of CUP 2560. Are there any questions or comments?
I have one quick question. If you could go back to the kind of the site plan drawing.
Sure.
There you go. With those storage containers being moved to where you have them shown here, are they going to have to expand the driveway as part of this, or is that?
As far as I know, as far as I know, they don't plan on expanding the driveway. The driveway, as you can see, already goes over here, and I think they're purely using those for storage. So once they're placed, they won't be accessing them by anything other than foot.
Okay, thank you. Any other commissioners with questions at this point for staff? Commissioner Leslie?
Thank you. I just have a quick question. Is there a timeline placed on this to have those storage containers painted into the earth tones? Thank you.
Yes, so there is not, all we have right now is the expiration after 5 years, at which time we'd look to make sure they were painted and moved to the correct location.
One other quick question. In the previous CUP, I believe it in the package, it indicated that one of those should have been removed. Only one had been permitted, and it never was. Is that correct?
So yeah, a condition of the 2019 conditional use permit was that one of the metal storage containers should be permitted with an administrative permit and the other removed from the property. And neither of those things ended up happening. So right now they're both unpermitted on site.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions from the commission for staff? All right. Not seeing any hands raised. Is there anyone from the public here this evening that would like to comment on this particular CUP?
Hello, yes. Hello, can you hear me?
I can. If you could identify yourself by your name and your address, you have 3 minutes to share your comments with us.
Hi, this is Clarence Collins, property owner and the CUP permit. And what I'm doing is, just
So
That
you're
address
the
is
applicant, is that correct, Mr. Collins?
I'm the applicant. Yes, yes.
Yep. Which we
So-
will shift to here in just 1 second, I think after public comment. No, I've got the sequence wrong. You're correct. The applicant should be speaking now, so I apologize for interrupting you, and please go ahead.
That's all right. This is new to us, you know. Anyway, yeah, as far as the containers go, we wanted to move those over. The painting would have to wait until probably within 90 days when we got some weather, because that's latex paint. Other than that, you know, they would be moved on the property. They wouldn't have to go out to a road or anything, because they're going to be straight up a little hill to the backside of the accessory structure.
Okay, and since we've got you, Mr. Collins, the conditions that have been listed here, you have had a chance to review those and agree with them?
Yes, no problem.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. So
as far as the timeline goes, you know, we would just want to know if we would have, like, say, 90 days or to get a better weather situation to paint those, because we'd like to paint them before we move them, because once they're moved, they'll be closer to the building and, you know, they're going to be sprayed. So it would be a lot easier in the open where they're at to spray these things and then move them.
all right, thank you very much, Mr. Collins. Anything else you'd
do
like
you
to
have-
share?
No, other than, do you have any other questions while I'm on the line?
Well, you stand by here and we'll find out real shortly.
All right, we'll stand by and be quiet.
Any members of the commission have any questions for Mr. Collins? Are there any members of the public other than Mr. Collins that would like to comment on this CUP? Okay, at this point then, I will close public comment and shift to commission discussion. And we will go around the group one more time and ask for any thoughts or comments on your behalf before we recommend this for a vote. So Commissioner Tohi, any thoughts to share?
Thank you, Chair. The only thing I wanted to is just to comment on the applicant's request. Is that something that we can put into number 2? And then so that it doesn't take, 5 years to get it done. But I just wanted to just put that out there. Otherwise, I can make the findings and support the recommendations.
So you're suggesting we incorporate the 90 days that the applicant mentioned into the condition?
That would be my suggestion, but if it's
Okay.
not, if it's something we can do.
I believe that is, but we will find out for sure. Commissioner Walsh, any thoughts?
Thank you, Chair Wilson. I agree with the recommended conditions of approval. I also support putting the timeline in number 2. And I think 90 days is generous, but we do have windy springs. So I hopefully they would have a day where they could paint it when it isn't windy for them. And maybe we could even make it 120 days just to be sure that, they have the time to get painted before they move them. But that's all I can make the findings and
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Walsh. Commissioner Best.
I think this is a great step forward for the neighborhood. I agree that we should put a time on this, and I think 120 days would be the minimum I would ask for, because we could have, we get our more snow and more precipitation in March than any other month. So I'd like to put it out into at least April. Other than that, I can make the findings. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Best. Commissioner Berger?
I'm in agreement with 120 days. And with the other recommended conditions, I can make the findings.
Thank you, Commissioner Berger. Commissioner Leslie?
I too am in agreement with the 120 days and can make the findings. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hayward?
I agree with everyone else.
Thank you for your brevity, or your briefness anyway. And I too concur with the 120-day requirement to have the shipping containers painted to match. And are we going to include moved to the designated location as part of that? If no one objects to that, I think that way we assure everything is done as we expect this time.
I believe that's a good thing to add into is painted and moved.
Okay. So we'll let
Hello?
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Clarence again.
Go ahead, Mr. Collins.
Yes, we thought we lost you. It was kind of blank there.
We're updating the condition here real quickly.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, it sounds good to me. Very well.
Excellent. Right, I think we've got it. So I need a motion to move forward here on CUP 25060.
I'll make a motion to approve case number CUP 25-060 with the recommended conditions of approval to be amended such that item 2 has a time limit of 120 days.
I
Thank you,
second
Commissioner
that.
Hayward. And Commissioner Walsh, thank you. I have a motion to approve CUP 25060 with the conditions as updated real time here in our meeting. We will go around for a vote here. Commissioner Towhee,
Aye.
Commissioner Walsh,
Aye.
Commissioner Best,
Aye.
Commissioner Berger,
Aye.
Commissioner Leslie,
Aye.
Commissioner Hayward,
Aye.
and I too vote aye. It carries unanimously as approved. The final item on our agenda is a call for public comment on any issues that we have not had on tonight's agenda. If there's a member of the public here that would like to make a comment, we ask that you raise your hand and be recognized. Any members of the public that would like to share any other public comments? I am seeing none, and I am seeing a time of 6:04 p.m. We're going to adjourn our meeting. Thank you, everyone, for your participation.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Take care all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.